What's up, sports fans? Joe Musso and Kiana Martin, pleased to be with you. Jam-packed program on the way with Family Matters down in New Orleans, series sorters on the diamond, and postseason play both on ice and hardwood. We begin out west, where a king wastes no time.
Yeah, for a franchise that's seen plenty of deep playoff runs, the Lakers with a chance to record their first postseason sweep since, well, 2010. And LeBron with a chance just to remind the West how dangerous LA can be, and that's regardless of age. Well, you would think it would be a little easier for them because the Rockets, they're without Kevin Durant for the third time in this series as they're trying to avoid a sweep against the Lakers. And that man looking to do some damage, but didn't quite go that way. Mid-first quarter, Alperen Sengun fakes the pass, drives it, and slams it home to put the Rockets up one. And Sengun not done. Mid-second quarter, Reed Sheppard drives, feeds Sengun, lays it in, plus the foul. He had 14 points in the first half. Rockets up 9 going into the break. A few minutes later, Sengun takes it up the floor, spins, and lays it in, plus the foul. Rockets up 21 after the made free throw. Sengun up to 19 points, and it looks like he can't be stopped. Lakers going to try, though. Sengun drives and tries to go up, but gets elbowed in the head by DeAndre Ayton. Refs will review and assess Ayton a flagrant 2, so he's out of this game. First career ejection for Ayton. Exits with a team-leading 19 points, 10 boards. KD waving goodbye to his former teammate. Early fourth now. Sengun feeds Amin Thompson, goes up to bring it down with one hand, puts on the reverse jam. That's nasty. Finished with a game-high 23 points. The Rockets, they go on to win 115-96, now trailing 3-1 in the Western Conference first round and avoiding being swept in a series for the first time since 1997. But take a look at this. It's the first time all 5 of the Rockets starters have scored 15 or more points in a playoff game. That was the first time since 1997. Meanwhile, LeBron, he's the third player with 8 or more turnovers in back-to-back playoff games since, well, playoff turnovers became official back in 1978. He'll look to clean it all up because Game 5 is Wednesday in LA with an opportunity for the Lakers to close this thing out. We're now joined by CBS Sports NBA analyst John Gonzalez. And John, you and I, we had the chance to speak pregame, and we honestly thought that LA would be able to close out this series in this game, but we were mistaken. Houston refusing to go home, refusing a sweep in this series. But I want to get your take. I feel like we've kind of watched this team through games 1 through 4. What did you see out of Houston Sunday night that maybe you hadn't seen before in the series?
Yeah, the Lakers were going back to LA anyway, and the Rockets decided to go with them. And what we saw in this game was something that we hadn't seen the rest of the series, was a full effort from the Rockets, right? I mean, they had played in spurts and fits and starts, but all 5 of their starters tonight were in double figures. And coming into this game, they really needed 3 guys to stand out, and that was Alperen Sengun, Amin Thompson, and Reed Sheppard. And Alperen Sengun's second game in a row that he looked really good. Amin Thompson was fantastic tonight. And then Reed Sheppard, who has had a really rough series before tonight, he had a good one. He goes 4 of 7 from 3, finally gets some deep shots to fall, plays some pretty good defense, has 3 steals. And that's something else that we should highlight too. The Rockets defense finally looked like the Rockets defense from the regular season, where they had the 6th best defense in the NBA. They turned the Lakers over. You mentioned LeBron's turnovers. Well, the whole team had turnover problems. 24 turnovers for the Lakers that the Rockets convert to 30 points. That was really the ball game. That effort that the Rockets gave at the defensive end that we hadn't seen, where, you know, earlier in the series, Luke Kennard was going off, Marcus Smart was going off, LeBron was going off. Those 3 guys had their worst games by far of the series, and the Rockets still alive.
So let's dive more into this Rockets defense, because you did say this is the first time we really got to see that full effort. Well, LA, 5 for 22 from 3. LeBron's stat line jumps out, going just 2 for 9 shooting. Lakers, like you mentioned, 24 turnovers, 8 coming from LeBron. Houston, meanwhile, 17 steals, 30 points off of those turnovers, like you mentioned, 23 fast break points. When I'm listing out all of these numbers, is there any reason for concern when you hear me saying this?
From the Lakers' perspective, I mean, yeah, you got to clean up those turnovers because, as you mentioned, LeBron, that's 2 games in a row where he had 8 turnovers. And it's like, okay, he has the ball in his hand a lot. He's a high usage player. He's LeBron. These things are going to happen at times. But the Rockets, they have so many. I was kind of surprised that this didn't happen, that the defense didn't coalesce earlier in the series, because even without Kevin Durant, the Rockets have so many big, rangy, long wing defenders that they can throw at you. Amin Thompson obviously made all defense defense last year. Tari Eason's super underrated. Jabari Smith is big and can get after you. Josh Okogie. I mean, there's so many different guys that can really make life difficult for you. But for whatever reason, the Lakers were able to overcome that earlier in the series where LeBron had a big first 3 games. Marcus Smart, again, he had been really good. Luke Kennard was shooting the lights out tonight. That was not the case. In fact, their best player tonight was a guy who hadn't really shown up earlier in the series, and that was DeAndre Ayton, who went for a double-double before he got ejected, right? Their best player got ejected tonight, so not the Lakers' night. And the Rockets, like, at the very end, with their backs against the wall, down 3-0, they could have just 1-2-3 Cancun this thing. Instead, they're going to L.A.
Yeah, I mean, LA is just as nice as Cancun, depending on where you go and what time of year. But nonetheless, look, even if the Lakers are still in control of this series, did Houston make this a little bit more uncomfortable, at least for the Lakers heading back to LA?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, the Lakers still have a decided advantage, right? No team has ever lost down 3-0, ended up coughing up the series. Although, if you look at this thing on aggregate, this I found a little interesting, even though tonight was kind of an outlier, right? The Rockets run up the score. But if you look at the score on aggregate, the Lakers are up 3-0, yes, but they've only outscored the Rockets by a total of 1 point. Now, again, tonight ran up the score, got the Rockets a little closer. They don't have KD going back to LA. It's possible that Austin Reeves could be available with that oblique injury. He keeps inching closer, and I don't think KD is as close as Austin Reeves. So the Lakers, this is one of those situations where, look, you had a 3-0 lead. Maybe you took your foot off the gas a little bit. I wouldn't be too concerned about this. Plus, you're going to be at home. 3-1, I think that they probably close it out in LA on Wednesday.
Yeah, looking to finish the job, but like you mentioned, the Lakers, I mean, they're eyeing at this point. You have Luka, who is at least doing some light movement on court. You're talking about Austin Reeves, not saying they'll be back by Game 5, but certainly a little motivation to get this thing done, let your guys rest. So you're ready for the second round, but we still got time to wait. We'll see how everything plays out from LA. And John Gonzalez, you've always been all over it. Appreciate it. We'll chat later. We'll take a look at teams to face a 3-0 deficit in a series in NBA history. I think what's glaring, if you take a look at that bottom red box, won the series, no one. It's a tough hill to climb for the Rockets, but hey, records are 3-1. Tatum with his 35th 30-point playoff game. Game 5 in Boston on Tuesday. The Sixers, backs against the wall. It's this or go home. We're joined by CBS Sports NBA analyst John Gonzalez in an absolute deconstruction of the Sixers by the Celtics in Game 4. They managed to pick them even with Joel Embiid returning, and I want to talk more about Embiid returning in just a minute. But while Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, let's be honest, they were both productive. They didn't even have to carry the offense in this one. I want to know what stood out to you most just in this dominating win we did see on the road for the C's.
Yeah, this is the version of the Celtics that we expected to see for much of the series. The Sixers stole a game in Game 2 on the road in Boston, and, you know, credit to them. But the Celtics are just so much better, and we saw it tonight. You mentioned the Jays didn't even have to carry them because Peyton Pritchard went absolutely wild. He goes for 32 points, almost set a Celtics franchise record for most points coming off the bench in a playoff game, just 2 off of what Kevin McHale did back in the day. But he was also 6 of 12 from deep. And the Celtics have had a theory of the case, Kiana, for a while now, and that is they're going to take more threes and make more threes than the opposition. Some nights they don't fall, then they're gettable. Tonight they fell. They took 53 three-point attempts and made 24. The Sixers couldn't come anywhere close to that, right? They took 30 and only made 9. It was sort of reminiscent of Game 1 when they only made 4. And I kind of, like, on the one hand, I think, you know, well, the Sixers can't really keep up with that. On the other hand, I think, you know, what were the Sixers thinking not taking more threes earlier in this game before it got out of hand? Because you knew what the Celtics were doing. You saw how hot Peyton Pritchard was, and before you knew it, this thing, they tipped